welcome to Nebula Vaping. I'm Francisco. We decided to do another series of videos really kind of covering the basics of the industry. We feel that there's a lot of misinformation going on back and forth, and we want people, especially newcomers, to really get a good idea of what's going on with an electronic cigarette. What is it? How does it work? Why are some bigger than others? All that other stuff. So I kind of wanted to go through the couple different types of devices available and really the commonalities between all of them, which almost everything is common between them. So just to kind of get into the basics of an electronic cigarette, what most people have seen is something like this, or if your friends are vapors and they're kind of into the scene and they're hobbyists or whatnot, they might have something more like this, or even something as large as this. There's three basic components, maybe four, that make up every single one of these that are the same, just different variations of the same type of idea on all of them. So I'll show you on this one. This bottom piece here is your battery. There's a button that turns it on and off and allows you to pass current into this top piece. There's variations of this. There's the top piece that's on this, which is a dripper style system, which you actually put the liquid directly onto. There's tank styles like this that hold the liquid in there, and they hold up to 2 or 3 or 4 milliliters, and it goes and wets a coil in a wick. Now, that's another commonality between all of these, is in this top piece, there's a coil and a wick. On something like this, they're contained in a replaceable package that looks like this, that screws and unscrews from the base inside. It sits about here. You can kind of see it in there. There's a little metal and whatnot. What's inside of this is roughly the same components that's inside any of these three devices here. It consists of a wick, which is made of a temperature resistant material. This one is called Echo Wool. And it's a fiber. It almost looks like a shoelace, except it's resistant. It's very, very heat resistant, and it has very good capillary effect, which means if you put a drop of liquid on here, it's going to want to equalize the liquid as far in as it can. It wants to actually move that liquid to evenly wet itself. Now, wrapped around this wick material is something like this. This is going to be really hard to see, I think. It's called, this one specifically is called nichrome. There's other terms for it. There's canthal. There's different types of material. This comes in varying gauges, but at the end of the day, this material, when you put electricity on either end of the wire, heats up. It'll glow red even. So inside of this piece, there is a piece of wicking material with a wire wrapped around it. It's obviously a lot smaller of a package than you would find in one of these larger devices. When you put electricity to it, it heats up and creates vapor. I can show you this effect really well on this setup here. This is a dripper type setup. This is actually an IGO W dripper. It's rebuildable. On this one, the coils, there's no predetermined package like on these that you can just swap in. You have to actually build the coils yourself with wire and wicking material. Once you have them built, you drop them onto the battery, which is what this piece is down here. And you press the button, which is down here on most mechanical mods. That's what these are termed, as mechanical mods, because there's no actual electronics inside. It's just a battery and some contacts. When you press the button, it heats up and it starts creating vapor. The exact same thing happens inside one of these, only at a smaller scale, more concentrated scale, I should say. Now, just to show you that this device is very similar to this device, you already saw that the wick was in there, and there's a piece of wire in there that heats up. Down here, there's just a battery. That's all that's located in this base, is a battery and a switch. This one happens to take an 18350 style battery, which is replaceable and rechargeable, and you just drop it in, put the end cap on it, and it'll fire. Because this has no electronics, you want some sort of safety, and most of these devices do have a safety. They have a ring like this one that when you rotate it down this way, locks the button so you can't press it. On the newer electronic devices, you actually click this button 5 times, it locks the battery. So again, very similar features, just done a little bit differently. This is how you lock a mechanical mod, and that's how you lock an electronic cigarette, like more electronic mod. And at the end of the day, that's basically it. Here you have, this is called a Scepter by Vapinaze. with a K-Fun light tank. It all looks really cool. It looks like one machine piece, but at the end of the day, this top piece comes off, and you can put any other atomizer on here, and you can put this on a wide variety of batteries. In fact, you could put it on here if you wanted to. So they'll screw right on. And then you get to the more advanced electronic ones that are variable voltage and variable wattage, and they'll look something like this. They have a screen on them, which allows you to adjust the voltage. It also allows you to see what the resistance is. Let me see if I can get that to show up. Yep, so there's the resistance. It also tells you what the voltage of the battery itself is by holding that down. This specific unit doesn't have, you don't recharge it by plugging it into something. You actually, just like the other mods, you take the battery out. This battery happens to be the same size you can run in some of these other devices. So at the end of the day, an electronic cigarette is a battery powering a wire that heats up and vaporizes e-liquid. In these cases, these are all liquid nebula e-liquids, which we make ourselves in-house. If you have any questions or comments, or feel that we didn't cover something or we didn't cover something correctly, please just get a hold of us. Either drop us an email to info@nebulavaping.com or make a comment on our Facebook page or on our YouTube videos. We're usually pretty quick to respond. Thanks for watching.